हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विशते भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। Verse number 67. हृदाकाशोदितो ह्यात्मा हृदाकाशोदितो ह्यात्मा बोधभानुस्तमोहृत बोधभानुस्तमोपहृत सर्वव्यापी सर्वधारी भाति सर्वं प्रकाशते। Adi Shankaracharya Ji is concluding this book in these last two verses. In this manner, when we clearly understand the true nature of the self, Parishoditaha Pratyagatma, so that Pratyagatma is constantly available. Where? Hridayakasho uditaha hi atma bodham. Atmabodha. This Atmabodha, the knowledge of the self, is risen in the space of the heart. What it does? Tama apahruta. It destroys the darkness of the ignorance. Though it is available in the space of the heart, sarvavyapi. Though Atma is available in the heart of every person. See, all the texts, the same thing. Taittiriya Upanishad also is telling the same thing. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Gruha Guhayam, which is known to the person in the heart, in the cave of the heart. Same thing. Understand? So it is available. Sfuratirut Swayam Parama Purna Sat. Raman Maharshi also is telling that Purna Sat, that which is this Purna Brahma, total, full and complete, total, is available where? Sfuratirut Swayam. It illumines by itself in the heart of every being. Ishvara Sarvabhutana Mruddesha Arjuna Tishtati. Ishvara is, understand, Ruddesha. The space of the heart, it is already there. And therefore, Akasha Uditaha Aatmabodha, when there is a rise of the knowledge of the self, the ignorance, the Bhanu, understand? Bhanu means the sun. The sun, which is called the Aatmabodha, is risen in the heart, then it destroys tamaha, ignorance. But it's not only here, sarvavyapi, understand? Though available in the heart, it is all pervasive. Sarvadhari, sarva satta matrena dharati vibharti ti sarvadhari vishwambharaha. One of the name of Shiva is Vishwambhara. It sustains everything. It protects everything. It nourishes everything. Dharati vibharati. Understand? Whatever you see in this world, the sun is sun because of the self. It protects the sun as sun. Understand? It sustains sun as sun. It protects. It sustains. It provides the existence to the sun as sun. It provides existence to the tree as tree. Therefore, one of the name of the Atma in 13th chapter is Upadrashta Anumanta cha. Upadrashta. Being near everything, it sees everything. Upadrashta. Anumanta, this is very important. Anumanta means it gives permission to everybody. That's why I say sun is sun, moon is moon, tree is tree. It allows everyone as they are. Not opposing anything. Anuman. There is a good thought, Satvika Vicharaha Anumanta. There is anger in the mind, Anumanta. Sarvadhari, Sarvavyapi. Because of the self, because of this pure consciousness, sun is sun, moon is moon, tree is tree, earth is earth, water is water. Upadrashta Anumanta ja bharta bhokta maheshwara. It doesn't expect any kind of the change. We are unhappy because we have certain kind of the expectations, certain kind of insistence, agraha, apeksha. It allows sun as sun, it allows moon as moon, it allows ocean as ocean. The water of the ocean is salty, okay. We human beings is a complaint box. So many complaints, so many expectations. But the self is what? Exactly opposite to what we think. Sarvadhari, bhati. Through this Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, this Paramatma, Parabrahma is shining in the heart of everybody. Bhati, it shines. Not only bhati, sarvam prakashata, it illumines everything. Sarvadhari means it gives existence to everything. Prakashata means it shines everything, illumines everything. As the sun is not opposite to anything. Whatever is there in front of the sun, it illumines everything. Whether it is the dirty water, salty water, pure water, or Ganga water. Same way, Sarvavyapi Sarvadhari, Bhati Sarvam Prakashate. And therefore, this sun of the knowledge of the self has to shine in our heart. In the heart, in the space of the heart. See, that's what I'm telling. The knowledge is going to take place in the heart of the person. And therefore, what the person is, what is your heart, where is your mind, how you think, all important. And to destroy the darkness, only one solution, which is light. Nishandakharanasha purvakam. Once there is a light, there is no darkness. So important is Hridayakasha, the space of the heart. How is your heart? In Hindi, there is a nice story about one Arabian. This Arabian having one camel. You know, there's camel in the desert. When this camel was small, from that time, he had this camel. So they had a special bond between this person and camel. So once he was crossing this desert, huge desert, and it was a cold season. So as the sun set, he decided to have his small tent and sleep in the tent. But it was a cold season, understand? And there was a wind, cold wind was there. So he had this tent on the back of the camel. He removed that one and he put the tent. And that wind sound was there. And it was very cold. So he thought, this camel also must be feeling so cold outside. Let me take his head inside, because a small tent, you know. So he opened the tent and brought that head of the camel in the tent. So camel also felt inside little warm. Morning, when he woke up, he was outside and camel was inside. Understand? Why? As the warmth was felt by camel, it was pushing itself inside more and more. And this fellow was going outside. Our heart is the tent. It is filled with the I-ness and my-ness, ahanta and mamata. This is me and this is mine. Self-identity. Nowadays, all these educated people, everyone has their own identity, self-identity. I am this, I know all these things. Everyone. So it's all filled with all this. What we have to do? You give one corner of your heart to the Lord. I'm telling you, this is true. You give one corner of your heart to the Lord. It's exactly like camel. Lord will push it himself inside and put all your I-ness, my-ness outside. Like the camel. What is there in your heart? What is there in your thought? What is the object of your thought? Very important. Therefore, Shankaracharya uses this word, Hridaya Akasha. Very important. What you are, what you have, what you do is not important. What is in your heart is important. What you think is important. Hridaya Akasha. It shines there, but we are so busy with ahanta mamata, I-ness and my-ness, that though it shines there, it's not available for us because of the ignorance. And this, the son of the Aatmabodha, the son called the knowledge of the self, has to shine. The sun called Aatmabodha has to shine in the space of the heart. And therefore, what is important is your heart. In Sanskrit, it is said, Raksha Raksha, may you protect, may you protect. Koshanam api kosha. That which is the treasure of the treasures. Kosha means treasure. Hridayam, that is your heart, understand? Why? Yasmin surakshite sarvam surakshitam syat. If your heart, your mind is protected, secure, everything is secure. If there is a doubt in the mind, the whole world is like a doubt. If you are happy, everything is happy. If you are sad, you see the same thing. Dronacharya, teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas. He was all the time, he was taking small taste of this Pandavas and Kauravas. So one day he called Duryodhana and he asked, go to the city and find out one religious person, one dedicated to religious dharma. And one gentle person. Then after few minutes, he called Yudhishthir and asked him, you go to the city and find out one bad person, adharma, one who doesn't follow them. Whole day they were, going in the city all day. Evening they came back. They came, they didn't bring anybody. So Dronacharya asked Duryodhana, I ask you to bring one good person, one gentleman. Duryodhana, I didn't find any gentleman in the city. Then he asked Yudhishthira, what about you? I ask you to bring one bad person. Yudhishthira, I didn't find any bad person in the city. What is your vision is important. When you say bad or wrong, there is always something good in the person. There is always something in the person we can learn. So that's the vision of Yudhishthira. The vision of Duryodhana is exactly opposite. He didn't see some good quality in the people. It's called, in Sanskrit, it's called dosha darshan. Finding the defect in the person. Or guna darshan. Finding the quality in the person. One of the definition of sadhu is what? Gunagrahi sadhu. Everyone has some quality. What is your vision is important. What is there in your heart is important. How is your hridaya? How is your heart? That's why I say protect your heart. Make it secure. Because if your heart is secured, protected, everything is protected. You see exactly what is there in your heart. Though object outside is there. I told you the story of Father Wallace. There was a great person in Ahmedabad. He started this college, Father Wallace. He has written beautiful books. Everybody sees. But what you see is important. And therefore, Hridayakasha Udita, the knowledge of this, the sun of the knowledge of the self is going to born, going to rise in your heart. Your heart has to be pure. Amanitvamadambitvam. Bhagavan gives so many qualities in 13th chapter, 20 qualities. The last two are important. Adhyatma gnana nityatvam, tattva gnanartha darshan. Your mind is always available for adhyatma nityatvam, for the knowledge of the self. Why? Tattva gnanartha darshanam. For the vision of the truth. Etad gnanamiti proktam. This is knowledge. Agnanam hi etad. Other than this, everything is ignorance. So, what you seek, what you desire, what you think, what you love, if we are looking for something which is limited in time, limited by space, then our thinking is going to be limited. If we are thinking of this self, sarvabhyapi, sarvadhari, whole world is, there is no problem in this world. Understand this. Jagat, what we call, is Ishvara Shrishti. Everything is in place. Problem is in our heart. And therefore, the sun of the Aatmabodha is going to shine in your heart. And therefore, to see that Atma, the sun of the knowledge will rise in your heart. Once it is risen, Sarvavyapi Sarvadhari Bhati Prakashate. That means what? The problem is tamaha andakaraha, ignorance. The darkness of ignorance is the problem. If ignorance is the problem, knowledge is the solution. Whatever you want to do, you can do. You can do bhakti and japa and tapa and kirtanam, meditation, everything. We also say all this is required. But as I said, the last two, Adhyatma Gnana Nityatvam, Tattva Gnanartha Darshan, that is also important. There in the 20 qualities, Bhagavan says, Mayi Chananya Bhakti, Abhyavicharini. Everything. So our problem is what? See, in the first verse only, in the beginning only we saw. We do all this preparation. Bhakti is there. Everything is there. It's exactly like somebody wants to cook. So he is doing all these preparations. He brings the rice and he brings the flour and vegetables and washes the vegetable. He cuts vegetables. He prepares all masala, sambar masala and rasam masala, and everything. He prepares everything. He washes rice. Pressure cooker is ready and everything is there. There is no fire. Without fire, what he is going to do? Pakasya vahnivad gnanam vina mokshana siddhyate. As for cooking, the fire is a main cause. Whatever preparation is required, it has to be done. We are not against that. But after all this preparation, fire is required to cook. Similarly, we do all this bhakti and dhyanam and everything is fine. But adhyatma gnana nityatvam is required. The knowledge of the self is required. And that also what? Nityatva. Nityatva means every day we learn Shastra. Every day we do this. How do I know there is Adhyatma Nityatvam in me or not? Very simple. A lot of people, those who are doing this japa every day, daily they count, Suppose for some reason, they can't do this japa. Something happened in the family, good or bad, understand? Then whole day his mind is reminding itself, understand? Oh, today I have not done japa. Today I have not done japa. Understand? He misses that. It's called japonishta. Japonishta means his mind is established into this japa. Same way, we have to develop the shravanadibihi daily. One day, if we don't, then it should mist in your heart. Adhyatma gnana nityatva. Tattva Gnanartha Darshan. For the vision of the knowledge of the truth. Whether we are looking for the truth or we are looking for this mundane world, sansar. Therefore, Bhagavan also says same thing. Machchitta madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Where do they dwell? Where is their trupti? Machchittaha madgata prana. All the time thinking of the Lord, talking about the Lord, teaching about the Lord. That is where they revel. Tushyanti cha raman. That is where their satisfaction is. Somebody got malaria and shivering because of the malaria, a lot of shivering is there. It's not shivering of the cold, understand? These parasites, malaria parasites, they grow in the liver. They entered through this mosquito and they go into liver and they grow there. And then they enter in your bloodstream. In the blood, they entered in your red blood cells. There they grow and they break these red bloods. Because of this breaking of red blood cells, there is a shivering in the body, not cold. Very painful. And it takes minimum 10 days to get to the normal life. So this fellow has gone through this malaria fever. Then he goes back to job. Understand this. This experience of this fever of malaria is so strong in his mind. Because the medicine also is very bitter medicine. And tongue also is bitter. So even if you drink water, water tastes bitter, like a bitter gourd. Can't feel like eating, can't feel like talking. Then he comes out of this. Whoever he sees, whoever he talks, what will be the subject matter of the talk? Oh, you know what? I had a malaria, you don't understand. Look at this. For next 1 month, everybody was talking about this malaria only. This one experience of malaria goes for 1 month. This is called malaria fever nityatvam. His mind is filled with the experience of this malaria so badly that he keeps on talking about it only. Same way, Adhyatma Gnana Nityatvam, understand? Machchittaha Madgata Pranaha Bodhayanta Parasparam. When they are talking to each other, they talk about me only. That's what Bhagavan says. I am the subject matter of their talking. I am the subject matter of their discussion. I am the subject matter of their teaching. Kathayantascha mamdi. Tushyanti cha ramanti. That is where their satisfaction is. That is where they revel. That revelation has to be there. Then Bhagavan says, those who have dedicated their life to me, Madgata Prana means they have dedicated their life. Their mind is dedicated to me. Their life is dedicated to me. They talk about me. They discuss about me. So person who has totally dedicated himself to me, what Bhagavan said? Tesham eva ham anukampartham. Because of my grace, what I do? Aham agnanajam tamaha nashayami. I destroy the darkness of the ignorance. How? Aatmabodha gnana deepena. 10th chapter, understand? By the lamp of the knowledge, Bhaswatha, very well lighted lamp. By the light of the lighted lamp, I destroy this ignorance. Teshamev aham anukampa. Anukampa means grace of the Lord. But that light is required, the light of the knowledge. We need that. Though Atma is sarvavyapi sarvadhari, but you know that in their heart. Therefore, hridayakashaha uditaha. I always tell my students, what is important is how is your heart, how is your mind. The greatest siddhi, we go for the siddhas. But what is the greatest siddhi in the world? Greatest siddhi is your heart. Whether you are a cheerful person or not. What is the thought of your heart? What is you think is important? And therefore, Shankaracharya at the end telling, Hridayakasha uditaha, it has to be shine in your heart, and then only you will know that you are that limitless happiness. And that once you know that you are limitless happiness, there is nothing else is there in the world. Aatmabodha, and therefore this Aatmabodha is required. Whatever you do, whatever you talk, whatever you go, wherever you go. But important is that the knowledge has to take place in your heart through the Shravanadi. If it is not there, then everything is of no use. See, we already saw this. Ihached avedita atha satyam. If you have known the self in this life only, then it is the Shreya. Satyamasti. Nached iha vedita mahati vinashtihi. You're inviting the great destruction for yourself. And therefore, last but one verse, Shankaracharya tells us that this is important in our life. We have to do this. And it's going to take place in your heart only. So what is important is not outside what is important is your heart. I always give this example that Pandava and Kaurava, they are grown in the same environment, understand? Same teacher. In the beginning, Krupacharya was teaching them. Bhishma Pitama was teaching them. When they were grown, Dronacharya was appointed as a teacher for them. Same environment. But Duryodhana is Duryodhana. Nobody is going to keep his son's name Duryodhana, understand? Nobody is going to keep this Dushasana, name of the son, Dushasana. No. Yudhishthira, Partha, Kaunteya, Govinda, Krishna, we keep this name. Therefore, outside is not that important. Whether you are in the ashram or in Malaysia or in America or in India, understand. Where is your heart is important. Therefore, the Hridayakasha is important. So, now last verse. दिग्देशकालादनपेक्ष सर्वगम् दिग्देशकालादनपेक्ष सर्वगम् शीतादिरन्नित्यसुखं निरञ्जनम् शीतादिरन्नित्यसुखं निरञ्जनम् यस्वात्मतीर्थं भजते विनिष्क्रियः यस्वात्मतीर्थं भजते विनिष्क्रियः स सर्ववित् सर्वगतो मृतो भवेत् स सर्ववित् सर्वगतो मृतो भवेत्. दिग्देश कालादि अनपेक्ष. There is no expectations of particular desha, particular place, particular time, particular direction. See, when we build the house, we all see this. Which one is the eastern sky? Our main door should be on the eastern side. Directions. The kitchen should be on the Agni corner. Agni corner means east south. So this even Dik, in this Jyotish, there are Rahu Kala is there, there are direction is there. This day you should not go in this direction. So this direction is required. Desha, place. Kala, time. Whether it is Rahu Kala, Shubha Kala, Amruta Kala. But this self-knowledge, Nitya Sukham Niranjanam, this Nitya Sukham, this limitless happiness doesn't depend on all these things. Suppose I want to perform some yajna. For the performance of the rituals, we see all these things. Muhurat we call. Even we have to see whether today we can light up the fire or not. Certain days are anagni. Anagni means those days we cannot have the fire for rituals. Anagni there. So when it comes to the actions, when it comes to the life, all this is important. But when it comes to the self, when it comes to Vedanta, learning, Shastra, teaching, Digdesha Kaladi Anapeksha Sarvagam Shita Dehrita Nitya Sukham Niranjanam. When it comes to the self, you are what? You are limitless happiness. Whatever time is there, whatever place is there, whatever direction is there, nothing is important. Because you are what? Nitya Sukham. Nothing is important. Why? You are all pervasive. Sarvabhyapi, understand? And so, Shita Nitya Sukham, it destroys all these things. Understand? All this duality, Shita, Ushna, dual, Dvandva, they call. All these Dvandvas are from the standpoint of Upadhi, not from the standpoint of the self. Shita, Ushna. Cold and heat is from the standpoint of the body. Sukha dukkha is from the standpoint of the mind. Mana apamana. Respect and insult is from the standpoint of the buddhi. Labha alabha, gaining and losing, is from the standpoint of the object of the world. Jai and parajay, winning and losing, and defeat, victory and defeat. It's from the other people standpoint. So one who is above all this dvandva, shitadi rit, understand? One who is above this dual, dvandva, nirdvandvaha, understand? Then you have this limitless happiness, nitya sukham, niranjanam. Ranjam is impurities. You are free from all kind of the impurities. Understand? If we want to get rid of these impurities of the heart, all kinds of the sins, papa, we go to the tirtha. Haridwar, Rishikesh, Kashi, sacred place called tirtha. There we take a dip in the Ganges, Ganga Snan. Why? To get rid of all this papa. There we take the dip. But to remove all the impurities of the heart, where you have to take a dip, as I yesterday said, Atma Nadi, and Swatma Tirtham Bhajate. Bhajat. You dwell into this Tirtha, sacred place called Swatma, the self. Not only that, Vinishkriyaha, there is no action is required here. For the self-knowledge, no action is required. Understand? Avirodhitaya karma. Understand? Because action is not opposite to the ignorance, and therefore karma has no role to play for the self-knowledge. Vinishkriya. Atma is what? Akarta, abhokta. So Shankaracharya says, one who is Swatma Tirtham Bhajate. One who worships the sacred place called the self, which is free from all the dualities, which has no expectations of the directions or the place or the time, which is pure consciousness, Niranjana. There is no action in the self, akarta abhokta. One who worships this Swatma Tirtha, one who dwells in this Swatma Tirtha, sa sarvavid sarvagataha amruto bhaveta. He is all pervasive. He is all knowledge. Sarvavid means all knowledge. I always give the example of Arjun. Lord Krishna taught him this Gita right in the field of war, understand? Middle of that. Therefore, people, those who are looking for particular direction and particular time and particular place, their whole mind is talking that only. In Bhagavad also, as soon as Parikshit came to know that 7 days the Takshaka is going to bite me and I'm going to die, he had 7 days. Immediately he gave up everything. Midnight he came to know he gave up everything. See, Vairagya, he gave up everything and he went to the bank of the river, Ganga. When your Vairagya is strong, when your desire is strong, you get Guru. Shukdev appeared there and he didn't call Shukdev. Shukdev appeared there. And what Parikshit asked, he didn't ask, oh, save me from this and how can I? No. He was very quiet, very calm. And he asked, what is the duty of the person who is going to die in 7 days? Look at this. At that time also he's thinking about the duty, kartavya. Seven days mean all these 7 days of the week, understand? That means anytime the death is going to come. Who is going to protect you from the death? See, that is the first verse of Bhaj Govindam. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati. Only this self-knowledge can protect. Once you know, you are all knowledge, sarvavid. Sarvagataha, you are all pervasive. Amrutaha, you are free from death and birth. And therefore, this knowledge of the self is important. Once you decide to have this knowledge of the self, everything will fall into its place. But the decision has to come from the person. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tatheva bhaja. The way person surrender me, that way I bless him. That means what you ask is important. If you ask for the son, Bhagavan will give you son. If you ask for the moksha, Bhagavan give you self-knowledge. And without knowledge, there is no moksha. And therefore, this is what is important. Aatmabodha. And that Aatmabodha has to rise in the space of your heart. See, this whole world is Maya. Born of Maya. Everything is under the spell of Maya. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Whole world is under the control of Maya. Nobody is free from Maya. But when there is a grace of Bhagavan, this Maya also becomes conducive for self-knowledge. But that decision has to come from your heart. Then Maya will make everything conducive. Mamevaye prapadyante mayam etam taranti. One who surrenders to the Lord. This Maya also becomes conducive. Everything will fall into place. And therefore, Shankaracharya says, for this knowledge, no particular place, time, or direction is required. What is required is your commitment, nishtha. Once you have committed yourself to the self-knowledge, once you develop the kartavya buddhi, Bhagavan will provide everything. And therefore, whole goal of our life is this self, because it liberates you. It gives you nitya sukham, understand? Limitless happiness. That is you. So this is where Shankaracharya said, this is Aatmabodha. This is the son of Aatmabodha, which rises in your heart and destroys it. It destroys the ignorance, and also all that is born of ignorance is all destroyed. And then person is reveling in this sacred place called Swatma Tirtha Bhajan. He revels into oneself. You don't need anything else. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushta. He is satisfied with oneself. He doesn't need anything other than the self to revel, to satisfy. So this is what the knowledge is, that you are all knowledge. You are all pervasive, pure consciousness, which is Brahma. So this is Atmabodha. Now we'll chant the first verse of Atmabodha again. This is a tradition, understand? So we all will chant the first verse of Atmabodha. तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते आत्मबोधो विधीयते. We chanted this verse means we started this Atmabodh again, and somebody will catch it and somebody will learn that Atmabodh. We don't need to put the end to this teaching. We want to continue this teaching. We learned this Atmabodh means we are connected to Shankaracharya ji, understand? He is the one who has created this book. And we want to continue this teaching. And therefore, this is called Mangala, auspicious. That we started Atmabodh again here. Somebody will catch it and somebody will learn Atmabodh. So this is where we continue the teaching tradition in our culture. And therefore, even in Bhagavad Gita also, when we complete Bhagavad Gita, we chant the first verse again. So somebody will catch it. Because this whole world is one consciousness, understand? So we'll release this Atmabodha here, and somebody will catch it, because it is a one non-dual consciousness. Somebody, so all one mind, one consciousness. So we have to release this first verse in the consciousness. So it will continue. So this is Atmabodha. I'm very happy to teach all of you. If any mistakes I have made, I'm sorry for the mistake. And any question anybody has can ask them.
Anyone want to say anything? Please do say.
Hari Om Swamini.
Hari Om.
I want to say my thanks and gratitude to you.
No, all gratitude go to Guruji, understand? We have to pass on them. Pujya Swamiji and Shankaracharya, understand? That's a parampara.
Really
Because of grace of Guru only we can learn this.
Yes, we do have the grace of Guru. That's why we are learning this.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed these times very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swamini.
Okay. We'll conclude. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Pruthavishasya Shalini Desho Yangsho Bharahitah ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि
No, Amma. Thank you very much, Amma, for being with us.
I enjoyed teaching all of you.
Yes, Amma. All of us have really enjoyed. And
Yes.
Aatmabodha is a very beautiful text, Amma.
Yes, amazing. It is amazing. All nice examples, you know.
Yeah, beautiful
Full
example.
of examples. This text is full of examples. You know, Hridaya Akasha, understand?
Yes.
It's a
Rising of the
beautiful.
sun. Beautiful.
It's not easy to understand, Swamini. You have to really get into it to understand the whole concept, because one time you say this, then you say no, you give up this, but you still have this, you give up that.
Yeah. See, that's why so much depth is there.
Yes.
Looks
yes.
very simple, but it has a very depth understanding is there.
Yeah, you have to listen to a lot of times to really understand it.
Yeah. That's what yesterday I was telling, you know, Pauna Punyana Shravanam. Again and again you have to listen to it. Then only it abides in the mind.
The only last question I want to ask, Swamini, you say you have to give up Maya. A time to come, when time comes, the Maya has to be automatically goes away. But then you are still in Maya with God.
No, what I say is Maya will be conducive for you. See, once you decide that I want to gain this knowledge, Maya will provide all the facilities what is required for the knowledge. So it becomes conducive, anukula it's called. It becomes conducive to you. So whatever obstacles are there in the life for gaining this knowledge, Maya herself will remove all these things. Because Maya is under the control of Bhagwan, and therefore Bhagwan says, na tesham eva aham anukampartham. Because of my grace, the person will gain this knowledge because the Maya will be conducive for you. Maya will be conducive means it provides all the facilities for you to listen to the Shastra, for Bhakti, for Japa. It provides all that. Because it is within Maya. Even teaching also is within Maya, but it is conducive. And therefore, this Maya also will be very conducive for you, very friendly with you. And
it's a very tough subject, Swamini.
yes, you are
Very,
right.
very tough. Very, very
But
tough.
important is that you make a goal of your life as self-knowledge. You know, kartavya buddhi. That's all. As we have a duty towards our children and our job and our house, you know, the duty orientation is there. Same duty orientation should be there for bhakti, for japa, for this listening to the shastra. Kartavya buddhi. Once you develop that, then everything will fall into place. See, mid of the war, Arjun asked for this, and Bhagavan gave, understand?
Yeah.
Arjun said, Yachreyesham nishchitam bruhitam me shishyasteham. Till this time I was your devotee, now I am your student. Once he became student, Bhagavan didn't have any choice whether he should teach him or not. He has to become Acharya, Gita Acharya. So he became, though he was a charioteer, he was a Sarathi, now he is playing the role of the teacher, right in middle of the war place. That is what we need. He said, I don't want anything else. He openly said, understand. Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna. I don't want this victory. Nacharajyam. If you don't win, you won't get the kingdom. I don't want kingdom. If you don't get the kingdom, you don't have any happiness. You will be in trouble. So what he said, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacharajyam Sukhani. Kim na Govindara, Kim no Rajyana Govinda. What will I do with this kingdom? Understand? This is called Vairagya. The height of Vairagya. He decided this is not going to help him. And therefore, he was ready for this knowledge. And right in the middle of the war place, Bhagavan taught him. So his commitment was there. You know? That commitment has to come to us. Once the commitment is there, everything will fall. Everything will become very conducive for us. That is what I'm telling you. Maya is Maya. But Maya won't create any kind of the obstacles in your life. That is what is required. Any question? See, I always tell, don't blame anybody for anything. Sukha dukkhasya nakarta. Lord Rama is teaching Lakshmana there in the forest. Lakshman thought because of Kaikeyi, we are all in trouble. Bhagavan says, no, nobody is there in the world to give you happiness or the sorrow. Sukha dukkhasya nakardata. Nobody is going to make you happy or unhappy. It is you who is giving the permission to other person to make you happy or unhappy.
Right.
Yeah. Don't allow that. We have to be that strong. As I said, we have to be strong. Nothing can happen. All these foreigners, they come here in India and they will start blaming India, or the water is this and the food is like that. We all bring the same water. Nothing happens to because we have enough immunity system. So it is not water is not the problem. When your immunity system is down, then everything can catch you. See, Corona, that is what Corona taught us. If your immunity system is strong, Corona cannot do anything.
Yeah.
Same way, our mind has to be strong. Aatmabodha. Our mind is strong enough. Strong doesn't mean that you control everybody, understand? Strong doesn't mean you control everybody, no. Strong means that firm desire for the self-knowledge. Firm desire for the devotion to the Lord. Once it is there, everything is conducive. Nobody can make you unhappy or happy unless you give them permission. I always tell, if somebody insults you, don't bother yourself for that. Don't give importance to that. You just ignore the person. He will stop insulting you. But if you take that insult, he will keep insulting. But you stop from that. Don't allow that to make you unhappy. You have to be strong inside. Nobody can insult you. Nobody can make you unhappy. That is what is required. Aatmabalam. That's why in Katobnishad, Yamra Nayamatma Balahina Labhya. One who doesn't have enough strong heart, he won't gain this Brahmagna. Any question? Okay. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Amma. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Swamini.
Thank you very
All
much.
of
Thank
you
you,
are
Swamini.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Hari Om.
Thank you very much.
Swamini.
Hari Om.
Hari
Hari Om
Om.
Ate. Hari Om
Hari
Swamini.
Om, Swamini.